So what are your memories of the night 3 years ago against Exeter?
Weariness. No, it was a great night, it really was. It's like a real sense of achievement that we just didn't expect. I think, and it sort of got fetched home when you saw players on fans' shoulders in the ground. I mean, you can't sort of buy that feeling. It was just unbelievable just to stand there to see him being carried all around the field. It was a really, really strange experience as well, really.
And was it sort of that much bigger of it being live on the BBC as it happened as well?
Yeah, because that season was the BBC's first foray back into the FA Cup, and it was the very first FA Cup match back on the BBC. So there was a lot of pressure on the game, really. And I spoke to the match of the day director afterwards, Neil Fisher, and I said, "How did that go?" And he said it couldn't have delivered the FA Cup for the BBC better than it did.
Yeah. And just sort of, that must have had sort of the financial impacts of that. What sort of were the financial impacts afterwards, sort of immediately in the sort of the weeks after that?
Immediately, we were talking, well, it was quite well documented. It did from 2 live games, just because we did the BBC against Exeter, and then we did BT Sport away at Gateshead. So if we take into account everything, and that's both TVs, ticket sales, but if you take the players' wages out of it and all the overheads that go with it, the net figure was about 200,000.
And then coming into this week, big FA Trophy game against Ashton. Sort of what are the implications of a big cup run in this tournament by comparison?
People say that the FA Trophy can be what people call the cannon fodder cup, where you'll do 2 or 3 rounds, then you'll play a National League side and get walloped, which that can happen. But it's also it's a cup competition where there's 276 non-league teams starting it. Everyone's got a chance. North Ferriby, who may even be getting relegated back into the division we're in, won it 2 seasons ago. Nantwich got to the semi-finals last year, so it's a chance for everyone to do well in it. There's not as much financial recompense as there is in the FA Cup, but it still gets you out there, gets you noticed, and it's an opportunity for lads to get that chance to play at Wembley, because you're never going to win the FA Cup. You're going to have a run in it, but you're never going to win it. But there's an opportunity in the trophy to do really well. What
are your thoughts on the opponents Ashton for this weekend?
We just can't beat them, basically. We've only played them because they've always been above us in seasons gone by. So I think we lost twice and drew last year. We've not beaten them at all this season, and I think in the history of the club we've played them 12 times and only beaten once. So lot to do. Bit of prize money at stake Saturday. So if we're ever going to pick a time to beat them, Saturday's the one, really.
New line signing came in last week, Steve Jennings, and sort of had an immediate impact. How pleasing was that to see?
Really good. Steve's a great pro. Got a great record. Been at Coventry City, had seasons at Motherwell in the Scottish Premier Division. Was captain at Tranmere when Paul was interim manager. So of course that relationship is what helped bring Steve to the club. Things not going too well for him at Southport at the minute. But a great acquisition for us. We've got him for 4 weeks. Hopefully we'll be able to get an extension on that. And I think probably seen on Saturday rarely give the ball away. I think he gave it away once in 90 minutes. And I think a manager of his, I think it might be the Coventry City manager at the time, likened him to a fire blanket in midfield. Just breaks play up and he's always there when you need him. And scored him with his very first touch for the club. He capped off a great debut for him.
So how do you think things are going on target for the playoffs at the moment?
Yeah, very much so. We're in line with sort of my expectation. My expectation was playoffs. People have someone turned around to me and said, "You'll never win the league. You won't win the league this year." Never said at any point that we're going to win the league. Against the resources that Shoreline and Altrincham have got, big ask. But I have said it's possible to get the playoffs, and that's what we're targeting. Can we finish second or third and get the home advantage? Who knows? But let's get in the top 6. Let's get in the playoffs, and we're 2 games from the promised land, if you like.